it's really like looking for a needle in a haystack. So we can try to be more precise with the way we search for information to see if it has surfaced elsewhere before by using Google search operators. So then we can look at, okay, there are different Google search operators that we can use to employ to look for the information that we want. So in there are few dozen Google search operators, but the ones that we think that are most useful for you to just make a simple check to see if this information has surfaced elsewhere on other social media platforms is that, okay, maybe first of all we have to be very smart about keywords. We all use keywords in Google search, but do you know that when you use keywords, you can actually also use search operator like minus to exclude certain words. So if I were to put Harimau minus Malaya, I'm excluding the word Malaya. So I will not have the word Malaya in any of my search results. So, and then I can also use site double dot to find information that might be buried within a site or a top level domain. So I could use this for any site, right? It can be, a website, it can be a government website, it could even be a social media platform. So I could do site double dot facebook.com and with my keyword. That's also possible. But if I have a few keywords, right, and I want those exact words to be in my search results, then I will need to use the quotation mark. So the quotation mark helps you to narrow it down. You're telling Google to basically find these exact words and they must be in the result. So if I were to just put Menteri berkata without the quotation marks, it means that I'm telling Google, I would ideally prefer to have the words Menteri berkata, but I'm also okay if I don't have these two words in my search results. So you will initially see the top results will have the words Menteri berkata, but then later on, if you scroll down to the next pages, you will see that then you will reduce to just the word Menteri. You don't see the word berkata in the result, or you only have the word berkata, but you don't have the word Menteri in the result. So if I want these words to appear in my result, I need to use the quotation mark because I'm telling Google it's a must to appear in my search result. And also if you have two or more words and you want them to be stick together instead of like separated, like I say, dan yang lain-lain. So, and I want this dan yang lain-lain to be in this one chunk of, phrase, right? So, and I will put quotation mark, dan yang lain-lain, and quotation mark. So that means my result would definitely have the word dan yang lain-lain together, as opposed to dan mereka berkata, dan yang, then after that, mereka yang berlainan or lain-lain. So then it would become like separated. So the quotation mark is very useful to help you make sure that those words appear in a search result, but also if you have a phrase and you want that exact phrase to be in there as one in the search result. Lastly is the file type. Now, file type helps you to find documents and data sets. So, so for example, if you were to say you want an XLS file or a doc file or a PDF file or PPT file, then you will use file type double dot. Bear in mind, all of this have no spacing. So it's minus the word, no spacing in between, site double dot, no spacing in between. And then also the quotation mark, you do not put space in between, and also with the file type double dot. I see there are some questions. Okay, it's interesting that the urge to undertake certain behaviors and strong emotions are considered in evaluating news content. Right. How likely is it that the news consumer will bother to do fact checking? How do we encourage people to do so? Given the time-sensitive pressures of news work, how likely is that journalists, editors, producers would have the time to do extra fact-checking? Now, first off, to answer your question on how likely is a news consumer would bother to do fact-checking, I would say that it is precisely because we need to educate people to spare at least a minute of their lives. If you can click share so easily, why can't you just spare like 30 seconds to a minute to just do a simple Google search to see if this has been debunked elsewhere, or to see if there's any data or facts to back up your claim, right? I think that's a good practice to have, which is why we're trying to educate people, to inculcate them to develop this as a habit instead of clicking share as a habit, before you click share, just spare like 30 seconds to a minute to just ask yourself the simple questions and just do a simple Google search. Of course, as fact checkers, we need to go a bit more, which comes to the other question about news practitioners, editors, journalists, right? Would they have the time to do extra fact checking? Now, accuracy is at the core of newsroom work. If you do not have accuracy in your reporting, you cannot bill yourself as a reputable news media outlet. People would view you with skepticism. Consumers would know that you're not reliable. So accuracy is at the core of the work. Now, whether they like it or not, any journalist, any responsible journalist and editor should do proper checks before they publish their work. This is essential. Yeah. So it's not about, you cannot compromise accuracy, because when you compromise accuracy, basically you're flushing your reputation down the drain. Okay. Right. Okay. So and so I think I answered the questions already. So I'll just move on to the examples for Google Advanced Search operators. So for example, you see here, sorry, on the right is actually me just looking up harimau. And of course I get the animal, but then I also get like somewhere here it says harimau Malaya. But if I were to exclude the word Malaya, then I would get like only harimau. I don't see the word Malaya anywhere in my search result. And you can actually test it out on your own as well. And the other one I was talking about was site double dot. So if like I were to just look up my keywords as usual, then I would just like maybe like I'll get this, and maybe I can also look UMNO and Berita Harian, but like I could then also get the words Berita and Harian in my text. So not necessarily the Berita Harian website. So, but if I put UMNO site double dot beritaharian.com.my, what I'm basically getting is that I'm getting only results from Berita Harian with the words UMNO in it. Yeah. So, and this is the other example. I thought of showing you PRU15 site double dot Instagram. Sorry, it's supposed to be PRU15, supposed to be together. So if I just look at PRU15, I'll get like results from like all sorts of websites. But if I only want it from site.instagram.com, you can see that I would see only posts on Instagram that has the words PRU15. Now, bear in mind that for social media websites like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, you will see them, you'll be able to find results on Google search if their accounts are public. If I had private my Instagram account, you will not be able to see whatever that I post by just searching up on Google search. And then there is also the other one I talk about the quotation marks. So if I were to just look at Menteri Berkata, so you can see that initially it will try to prioritize this phrase that I put in. But you can see here further on, then the words get split up, right? Berkata, Menteri, Berkata. So it gets split up. Now, if I were to put it in quotation marks, then I would see that these two words are always together. Menteri Berkata, here as well, here as well, here as well. And then the next one is about like file type. So if I were to just take traffic essence statistics, maybe I just add in the word Malaysia, then I'll just get all sorts of results, right? But if I were to put that file type XLS, I will only get Excel file, because you can see here the marker Excel file, Excel file, Excel file, Excel file. Then actually all of those search operators are not like exclusive. You can actually combine them and use them together. So I can use the quotation marks PRU15, and then I want to take out the word UMNO, and I want results that surface on Twitter. So now I just want to get to a quick exercise with you guys. So I would suggest perhaps I'll give you like say 4 minutes to just try this out. So see if you can find the Facebook post using Google search operators on Tentera Troll Kebangsaan's Facebook page with the words PRU14 and Bunga in it. I'll give you guys until 10:48 to try this out. Until then, I'll just look at what other questions there are. While the rest of you are trying out this exercise, I'll just answer Roberto's question about automation with fact checking. So I would say that there are already existing, there are initiatives that are trying to automate fact checking, but you still can't remove the human element to the whole fact checking process. So what the automation can do is that it can narrow down the number of claims that needs to be sieved through by an actual fact checker. What it does is that it will go through by keywords, and so if it flags out certain claims, then it will forward those claims to human fact checkers to actually fact check it. Okay, you guys have 3 minutes more to do this. If you have any problem trying to do this, and if I was going too fast, please let me know. We'll also try, I'll give you guys, it's another 2 minutes left. If you manage to find the Facebook post, maybe you can just post on chat the post to the link. Okay, looks like a few people got it already. And everyone has the same link. So there you go. It was published on November 7th. And this was the post. Did you guys use Google search operators, or did you just scroll through Tentera Troll Kebangsaan's page? Okay, I'll just quickly run through how this is done. So what you would do is that you would need the link to Tentera Troll Kebangsaan's page, right? So I'll go into my Facebook account. I look for Tentera Troll Kebangsaan so that I could get their page link. And then I'll see that their page link is up top. I'll just copy it, right? I'll just copy it. And then I will use search operators. So I'll go to Google. What I'll do is that I would look at PRU. There, I did this, got this already. There, and then immediately I get this first result. It's the one PRU14 Bunga Pretending. So I already got this one. So I click on open, and I would see the result of here. Yeah. Good job, guys. So, okay, this is not too hard. So let's just move on. Now we'll look at, what are the social media platforms and how you can utilize it to search for content. So sometimes you come across a claim we all consume different social media platforms. Sometimes we come across a claim on one platform and we're wondering if that same content is also, surfacing on other platforms. So this is why we would use search on different platforms just to check, right? Now, I know that I recommended Google. Google is one way to look at it. But Facebook internally also has its internal search function, which they have improved over the years. It's not the best, but they are marked improvements. So if you look at, the top left search bar, you can search by keywords, and you will see that the results will they'll allow you to filter by date posted, which is essentially year. They don't narrow down specific date. So you can only select the year. You can look by tag location. You can only get, if you want to filter only by photos or only by videos, or you just want to look at pages. So all of these do kind of help you to narrow down somewhat the kind of results that you will get within Facebook when you do the internal search. But I don't know if you noticed, but on Facebook itself now, you can also do a page search on a page. So you can see, if you go to the page, right, you will see that there is a search bar here. And clicking on this search bar and looking up a keyword will show you results of words published by this page based on your result. I'll just do a quick demo here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to search up. Okay, maybe I just want to look at the word Sarawak. Okay, and I hit enter, and I'll get all the posts that mentions Sarawak published by this page owner here. So that helps. And from here, if I want, I could even narrow it down to, say, most recent, or I could go by date posted. Maybe I want something that's only from this year. Okay, so that's how you work with the Facebook internal search function. Then there is also an external tool, which is called Who Posted What. Now, Who Posted What is useful in that it can help you to narrow down to a specific date. Because as you can see on Facebook, you can only select the year, you cannot select the date or the month. So if you use Who Posted What, you can actually select and specify the date that you want. So I would do this. For example, there is this time range function. If you're looking by keyword, right, you want to look at, okay, what is everyone saying about this topic? So you can find posts about this keyword from when to when. You can specify the date. And then after that, say, for example, or you could even get posts directly from a certain user about a keyword. So if you want to look at whatever that, say, for example, Ismail Sabri posted about, say, Keluarga Malaysia, you could just put his UID and then put the keyword Keluarga Malaysia. Now, how do you get the UID? Is also on Who Posted What. There is also, if you put copy paste the link of his username and hit find, it will give you the UID. So what I'm going to do now is just going to do a quick demo. Quick and short demo for you by going to Who Posted What. So say, for example, I'm just going to go and see Ismail Sabri's page. Okay, so I copy the link to his page. I paste it here and I hit find so that I can get the UID. And this is his UID. It's a string of numbers. So I copy the string of numbers. I want it to be about Keluarga Malaysia. And I hit search. So you have to be logged onto your Facebook account in order for this to work, because it redirects your Facebook. And then you will see all the posts from Ismail Sabri that has the keyword Keluarga Malaysia. Then you can also use, right, if you don't want to use post from, there is also this time range function. So if I want to search about, say, for example, the Bendera Putih, and I know that it happened between the periods of, say, was it June or July? So I will just look up 1st of June until, say, maybe 31st of July. Okay, so 31st of July and post about Bendera Putih. And I hit search. And it redirects me to my Facebook account so that it can show the results. And then it will show me all of this, whatever that was posted within that time period. As the words Bendera Putih. Now, I would just like to put it out there that perhaps your first few results that you see may not be the same as mine, simply because what Facebook algorithm does is that it tries to push up posts by your friends higher. So you will usually see posts from your friends first, or posts from pages that you have liked, or posts from pages that your friends have liked. So that could also be why, like, what I'm seeing and what you're seeing as the first few results may not be the same. Now, I want to give you another short exercise right now. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Wait, hang on. Let me just, before that, I forgot to show you this. So I remember how I got like True Who posted what I actually typed about Bandera Putih. From 1st of June to 31st of July, and I hit find. It redirects me to this page. Wow, my Facebook account shows me all the different posts that people have posted. Now, if you look at the URL, I'm not sure I can expand the URL up, but you just check out the URL on top. It says facebook.com/search/post. Now, this, I could just highlight the word post, and then I change the word post in the URL to photos. And I will only get photos and my results. Also within that time frame of 1st of June to 31st of July. Okay. Now, if I were to change the word photos in the URL again, and this time I change it to video, and I hit enter. Okay, there is no videos with regards to Bandera Putih, but I did this with the Myanmar protest and there were a lot of videos. So basically the idea is that you can manipulate the URL, change the URL to get, not manipulate, change the URL, that's the correct word, change the URL to get different results, because what who posted what does is that it shows you posts only. But if you want photos, I can't be like, like sifting through the entire list of results from here just to look for photos. Like, okay, I mean, this first few ones have, but not all of them. Like this one doesn't have a photo, right? So so then I would have to just change the URL if I wanted to get only photos. So that's the little trick. Okay, now we go into the practice. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, so we'll until 11:02 to just try this out. If you can find photos on Facebook about MCO from the 1st of July and to 31st of August this year. So I will just put up the website link. It's called whopostedwhat.com. Make sure you're logged onto Facebook if you want to get an answer. And ideally, I would advise all of you to try this on your laptop or desktop, because when you try on your mobile phone or on your tablet, you would notice that sometimes the redirect on the Chrome or Safari browser, it doesn't go directly to your Facebook account. Okay, so you have another 4 minutes to go. Yeah, so better if there are no photos from your friends or groups that you follow that post about MCO during that time period on Facebook, then yes, you would just get randomized items of like whatever that people have posted on Facebook. Did everyone else manage to get it? You have another 2 more minutes. So I see that people put that they don't have photos on friends or groups is fine, but you still see photos, right? It doesn't have to be from the people. Yeah. So the point is that, I mean, sometimes you want to find content, you just don't just want to find content that your friends are sharing or the groups that you know that you follow are posting, but like it could be any photos that people are sharing on Facebook itself. Okay, so does anyone have any problem? Have any issue you find that it's very difficult to use who posted what, you don't know how it works? Anyone? Let me know if you actually can't do it or you have trouble finding the tab on like who posted what. Okay, we're almost time. So no one else has, it's fine, there are no photos from your friends or groups. The point is the exercise is to find any photos on Facebook about MCO from this time period, July 1st of August to August 31st. Just any photos, just if you can find any photos, do you see it or not? Yeah. Okay, I think it's time already. So I'll just do this exercise quickly. So the exercise is to find about topic, right? And then I want photos of it. So I go into whopostedwhat.com, okay? I scroll down, I go into this time range function. I go into post about MCO, and I want it to be from, I think it was the 1st of July until like August 31st, right? Okay, so this time period, my new Facebook account can't work. If you're logged into your Facebook, it should work. Like I mentioned, if you're on your tablet or on your mobile phone, then you will see that if you're using Safari or Chrome on who posted what, when you hit search, it's supposed to redirect to your Facebook account. But if you're on tablet or mobile phone, sometimes the redirect doesn't work because it will still redirect you to ask you to log in via your Chrome or log into Facebook via your Chrome or Safari. It doesn't go into the app. So that's why I always suggest to use laptop or desktop. So then you would put post about MCO, 1st of July to August 31st, you hit search, automatically if you're on your browser, your laptop, you would get like a pop-up, and it has to be linked to your Facebook account. You have to be logged in. It doesn't, you don't have to link it specifically to who posted what. As long as you are logged onto Facebook, it should work. So like for me, I get this, okay? So these are all posts. Now I mentioned I wanted photos. So I need to now change the URL. So I go to the URL, I hit on the word post, I change it to photos, hit enter, and these are all the photos that I will see. Of course, like Roberto mentioned, you have like some people selling stuff to you there. All these different people trying to sell stuff online, but they use the word the MCO in their post, which is why it appeared. So these are all the things that I would see. And just to double check if it falls within the time frame that I mentioned, I could just easily open this. There, it falls within the time frame of, okay, why this doesn't have the word MCO on it? Did someone put like, this is weird. So this is what happens with who posted what. At times they come up with all this wonky stuff. I think this could be part of an album, and the album itself has the word MCO. So I just want to also put another disclaimer out there. Who posted what is helpful to narrow down stuff for you. But as I mentioned again and stress again at the end of this workshop today, is that all tools, especially third-party tools, are not 100%. You still have to make your own judgment. You still have to make your own checks to make sure that things are correct. Like by clicking on it, okay, if this like has, I don't see a post attached to this, then maybe I need to like find out, like if this person on August 28th did she post anything about MCO, which is why this photo is surfacing. So these are the things that I would need to like look into and consider, right? Yeah. Another example will be like PKP. And I think PKP you see a lot more results. Photos. There. So there are times I noticed that even like if someone posted something on the comment section and it has the word, it will also surface. So that's the thing about who posted what. It's not 100%, but it does help you to narrow down somewhat of the thousands, if not millions of photos that you see on Facebook. Okay, so we'll go on to next is Twitter internal search. So Twitter also has its own advanced search. It's similar to Google search as well, in the sense that you could narrow down by keywords, exact phrase. Okay, any of these words, none of these words, this is minus. Remember how we do Harimau minus Malaya? They also have this by having none of these words. You want to search by hashtag and you can filter by language. Now I'll just quickly show you where it is on Twitter. It's very, very annoying because what Twitter does is that it hides advanced search. It doesn't show you in the settings itself. Let me just show you what I mean. This is when you go to Twitter, this is, on your web browser, this is how it looks like, right? Now, you could try to see if you can find advanced search anywhere. You don't see it here, so maybe you click more. And you could try to look it up here. You don't see as well where is the advanced search tab. You could even go into settings, you won't find it. I don't understand why Twitter hides it. So the only way to get to advanced search is, you see the search bar, right? Okay, you go to search Twitter, hit anything at all. It could be alphabet, it could be a number, whatever. Okay, just hit anything on your keyboard and then press enter. What you want is to get to these three little dots here. When you see these three little dots, you click on it, and there you go, advanced search is there. And then you just hit advanced search, and then you get to this page, which is what you want, right? You want to then look for an exact, say a phrase, or maybe you want to look for a post, an old post from a certain famous politician or famous celebrity, like old post from a social media account. So you could just from this account, and then you could then filter by dates. Or even if you want to look for, say, for example, what if I want to look for something that is going viral right now? Maybe I could search by keyword, right? And then after that, I could then look for virality. Maybe I think that, anything that has more than 5,000 or 10,000 likes is considered viral. Then, I'll just put the minimum number of likes, and then I hit search, and I'll get my result. So that's Twitter internal search engine for you. It's pretty powerful and it's quite helpful. And then there is also social audit. So when we mentioned just now, one of the things that we want to look at is that we want to analyze the people who are behind the social media, behind the viral posts, right? Behind the claims itself. So if it's posted originally on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, platforms like TikTok, we usually would be able to see, okay, because on private social messaging apps like WhatsApp or Telegram, we don't know who's the original content provider, right? they could have forwarded it multiple times, so we don't know who's the original person. But like, if it's on other social media platforms, there's a good chance that we're able to then find out if this person is real or not, right? Or if there was a social media, like something that you get on WhatsApp, Telegram, but it mentions the name of a person, we could also use that name to then Google them up to see if they surface on other platforms. So this is the thing what I mentioned earlier, that do they exist on Instagram? Do they exist on Twitter? Do they exist on Facebook? Do they exist on YouTube? Do they have a LinkedIn? Do they have a TikTok account? Or what other social media platform are like maybe younger kids using nowadays? Snapchat, I don't know. So you just try to see if you could find them on all these different social media platforms, and if they exist in these platforms, maybe not all of these platforms, but even if they exist in like two or three of these platforms, and you can see that they are pretty consistent with their postings, like they are not just promoting a product, they're not just promoting a person, but they actually, like, I'm sharing my real life, my own personal life, like, oh, I'm going on vacation, or I'm having this restaurant and eating this, so they know that they're actual humans. So now we go into another practice, another exercise. So I will give you guys like maybe a bit more time. I'll give you 7 minutes to try to figure this out. The two questions here, you try to find out what is Anwar Ibrahim's first tweet. If you can provide the link to his first tweet, that would be great, without you having to scroll down his whole entire Twitter account, just using advanced search. And then if you can also see if you can just find tweets that has more than 5,000 likes for the keyword PRU15. I'll give you guys until say 11:18 or 11:17 a.m.
Trina, two participants raised their hands. Probably they have a question.
Hi. Does Amira and Nurzihan has any question?
Oh, sorry. I think I forgot to take my down.
Yeah. Sorry. I was busy looking for something. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. Okay, there are, you guys have another 5 minutes to go. Is anyone having any problem or trouble trying to do it? Okay, 2 more minutes. Okay, it looks like we have one person who managed to find the answer for the first question. Anwar Ibrahim's first tweet. That is correct. Okay, so we're actually running short of time, so I'm just gonna quickly go into it and show you how you get this done. For the first question, okay, first off, I mentioned Anwar Ibrahim, right? So let's just find what's his ID, like what's his Twitter handle. It's at Anwar Ibrahim. I open his profile, I look at it, and I see that, okay, he first joined Twitter in March 2007. Now I go back to advanced search. I open advanced search. I know that his Twitter handle is at Anwar Ibrahim, right? And then I know that he opened his account in March 2007, so I'll probably want like March. I don't know when in March because Twitter only tells me it's in March, so I just put there March, 1st of March until the 31st of March of 2007, and then I hit search. And then I can see this is the first tweet that he has. And if you can see here on top, this is search operators, right? Which essentially you can also type them manually on the search bar on Twitter, and you can also get the same result, like in bracket from Anwar Ibrahim, okay, until 31st of March 2007, and then since 1st of March 2007, so then you will get the result. Okay, the second exercise, it says tweets with more than 5,000 likes for the keyword PRU15. Again, I go back to my advanced search and I know that my keyword is PRU15. Okay, and then I go to the engagement. I mentioned more than 5,000 likes. So I put there, and then I just hit search. And then these are all the lists of tweets that there are not that many actually. So it's 2019 as 1, 2020. This is this year, April 22. This is from also last year. So there are not that many tweets about PRU15 that has more than 5,000 likes. Now, okay, moving on, we'll go into timestamps. We'll look at how different social media platforms actually look at they tag timestamps differently. So like Twitter, it actually, whatever timestamp that you see on Twitter posts is based on the time zone that your computer or device is set to. So for example, I'm in Malaysia, so my computer, my phone, everything is set to Malaysia time. So when I open Twitter, I check the time on Twitter for each of, say, for example, Site Static's Twitter post, latest Twitter post, it will show me the time zone that my computer is set to, which is Malaysia time. Now, it's likewise, even if I were to follow like Joe Biden, I open Joe Biden's latest Twitter post, it will also show me Malaysia time, not US time. So Facebook is the same like Twitter. It also follows the time zone that your device is set to. YouTube, however, is a bit funny because it would index it according to US time zone. So whatever that you see on YouTube page is actually based on US time zone. So like, for example, I upload a video now at this time, it won't show me 23rd of November. It will show me 22nd of November because it's following US time. And it's still the 22nd of November in West Coast US. So, but if I were to use an external tool called InVid, it will show me the time in UTC, which is the Universal Time Code. So then I will need to convert UTC to local time. You're not changing the Twitter time, Roberto. What the question is, if I change the Twitter time can I change the Twitter time by changing my computer time, Twitter and FB? You're not changing the Twitter time. You're changing what you're seeing in terms of the timestamp on these social media platforms. So on Twitter and Facebook, if you set your device to say UK time zone, it will show you all the timestamps according to your device, which is the UK time zone, right? But for YouTube, it doesn't matter what device you use. They don't care. They just index it according to US West Coast time zone. So therefore, like, doesn't matter what device you're using, where you're logging from, you will always see in the US time zone, all YouTube videos. Unless you're using an external tool called InVid, which we'll talk about later. InVid will show you time codes in UTC. Then you have to convert it into local time. Instagram, they also show it to you in UTC. They don't show it to you according to whatever device time zone that you're set to. So whatever time that code that you see on Instagram is always in UTC, and you have to convert it into your local time. TikTok, it's even weirder. They use this thing called Unix time code. It's actually a string of long numbers, but those long numbers actually means a set of time. So you will need to use like online, you can just Google any time converter and just convert the Unix time code onto a local time. So for example, this is what I meant, right? On Twitter, you can see the timestamp either on feed view or static tweet, right? So if you're on, this is on feed view. If you're on feed view, it will, if it's an old tweet, you only show you the date. If you want the exact time of upload, you will need to hover over it, which is why I say going on your laptop is the best thing. You mouse over it, and then you will see this tooltip that pops up, and it shows you the exact time of upload and date. Now, this time would mean 1:05 p.m. Malaysia time because it's according to your device. And if your device is set to Malaysia time, it would mean 1:05 p.m. Malaysia time. Now, if you click on this post, it will open in another link, right? And this is called a static tweet. A static tweet will show you the time at the very bottom of the post, and it will show you directly the time and also date on it. Same as with Facebook. Again, it will only maybe show you 4 hours ago or like 1 day ago or a date, right? So in order to get the exact time, I will need to hover my mouse over it, and then I'll get this pop-up tooltip that shows me the date and time of upload. Now, again, I would say that it's better if you were to open this post on its own separate link, okay, then it will give you a more reliable result than viewing it in the feed view. Feed view is not accurate. Okay, third is the YouTube. So I mentioned that YouTube only shows you in US time zone. So if you go to the YouTube video, it will show you that it's published on 8th of January 2019. But the guy who uploaded this mentioned that the solar eclipse is on 9th of January 2019 in Phuket. Now, it doesn't mean that this is a fake, or it's a manipulated video. It just means that this guy, because he's in Asia, obviously he's one day ahead of the US. Therefore, what's shown on YouTube is always the US time zone, which is on the 8th. Now, but you can also use Invid, which is this external third-party tool, which we recommend. Invid is the most reliable third-party tool out of all the third-party tools out there. Invid is very, very reliable, and it's free. You can download it as a Chrome plugin extension, Chrome extension, and you can use it. So on Invid, if you click under Tools and you select Video Analysis, and you copy the link of the video, not the link of the post, the link of the video. So if you're on Facebook or on Twitter, clicking on the Facebook post, copying the Facebook post or the Twitter post doesn't work. You need the video link. So you need to open the video and copy the link address for the video link. Copy it, hit submit. In this case, I will get the time and date of upload, and it will always show it to me in UTC. So then what I need to do, because Invid always shows in UTC, what I need to do if I'm reporting it, I would need to convert UTC to local time. Instagram, meanwhile, how it works is that if you're on Instagram, again, using your web browser on Instagram on your laptop, you open Instagram.com, you go into the post that you want. Now, once you scroll down, we usually see, okay, either a date or say like 5 hours ago or 12 hours ago. If we right click on this, the date, we'll get this whole bar of options, right? And I would like to hit on inspect. Once I hit on inspect, I'll get this string of codes, but it will automatically highlight this row, right? And the row that it highlights is actually the date and time. And what it shows me is the date, 2020, December 14, and then the time is actually in UTC. So I'll need to convert the time into local time. Then there's next TikTok. TikTok's the complicated one because it's a long string of numbers. What it does is that, okay, you're on feed view, you need to go into, get out of the feed view, you need to get into the post. Once you get into the post, you need to right click directly on the video. Again, you do all of this on your laptop, not on your tablet, not on your mobile phone. It doesn't work. Right click and then choose view page source. Once you hit on view page source, it opens a new tab on your computer and it's all codes. Now, the fastest way is very long string of codes. So you need to do Control F if you're on Windows, Command F if you're on Mac, and then search for the word create time. Create time, you will see two results. You need to take the first one. The first one next to it is a string of numbers. If it goes on, extends onto the second row, make sure you copy all of it. Copy all of it. You go into any time converter that you can find on the internet. It's a website. All these are free. You copy and paste that timestamp, that string of numbers, and it will show you, convert to you in UTC, what is the date and what is the time of upload. So that's for TikTok. Now, I will give you this exercise, 5 minutes to solve this exercise. It's a TikTok video. Now, I want you to get the timestamp of this video upload. When was this video uploaded? Date and time. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, so until 11:34, and then we'll continue. If you have any questions at all, or if you don't understand, please let me know. I'll answer them right now. 3 minutes more. Anyone has any questions? Any problem with doing this? Okay, looks like Roberto has already forgotten how to do it. Anyone else have any trouble with it? Okay, looks like I guess everyone else is doing fine. I'll wait another 2 more minutes, just 2 more minutes left. Okay, looks like there are people who stumbled with this. So is anyone else having any trouble? So we have 2 people so far who say that they have problem doing this. What about the others? Okay, can't find create time. Okay, let's just do this then. Okay, I'll show you guys how to do it. First, I open the link. Okay, so this is the video. I don't know who this lady is, but she has a verified site and her videos get a lot of view. So I came across her on like by accident. So this is like the feed view, right? I'm trying to see if I just click on this there. Click on the video. Now I got out of the feed view. Now I'm in the direct link view, which is what I want, right? I don't want it to be like this. This is feed view. Click on it. I get into this. Yes, I mentioned this now. I need to click on the video. You need to get out of the feed view. So it applies to anything. If you're on Twitter, on Facebook, it's always better to get out of the feed view and get into the direct link view. Once you're in the direct link view, you right click. Okay. Hang on. Sorry. Okay, hang on, I am not sure why it's giving me notifications.
Hai Nini, kami dua sudah bertanya.
Okay, there's something wrong with, sorry guys, there's something wrong with this. The view page source has completely disappeared. Does anyone get to see view page source? I'm not sure if it's just my browser or if it's... Okay, does anyone see view page source when you right click? No, not inspect. Under page source. Okay, sorry guys, it was just working like last week. Okay, by right, technically speaking, you're supposed to see the view page source. I'm not sure, it shouldn't require me to log in. Okay, I'll figure out a way to fix this so that hopefully by tomorrow I can come up with a solution for you. Technically speaking, you're supposed to be able to go through, like, you're supposed to be able to do this, like right click, and it's supposed to show you this view page source. I'm not sure if TikTok recently updated the app and changed the algorithm, because Facebook and TikTok and Instagram is famous for changing their algorithms like pretty frequent, quite often. So every few months they'll change the algorithm. So by right, technically speaking, you're supposed to right click and see the view page source, and then you're supposed to get the a tab open with all the string of numbers. It's supposed to look for create time. It worked just last week. I'm not sure why it's not working now. I don't know if it's me or if it's not sure if it's me or if they changed or if they updated their app again. I'll figure out a solution and I'll get back to you by tomorrow during our tomorrow's workshop. But technically, you're supposed to then get a timestamp, copy and paste into any of those websites, and you're supposed to get in UTC, and also this website actually even shows my Malaysia time. So I'll just try to move on to the other tools because we're running out of time. So we only have 20 minutes left. So this is a website analysis. So if you want to analyze the website, who owns a certain website, you could do a who is lookup. So who is lookup, there is many different tools. There is this website called ICANN who is. There's also domain tools who also does a who is lookup. I can copy the links for you guys. Okay, so these are the two different websites that helps you to look up the website ownership. Then there is also for Malaysia, if you're in Malaysia, there are those websites that ends with a .my. For all .my websites, you can actually look them up on who is MyNick. And you can actually do that search, ownership search on these different websites. So just very quickly, I don't think we have much time left. Let's see, I still have another 20 slides to go. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you how it's done here. If you were to just go to, say, rotikaya.com, I would just show you very quickly rotikaya.com on who is, and then I hit search. And then just wait for it to load. So it shows me that this website is owned by someone called Muhammad Ismail Baharudin. The company name that they registered under is called RTKY Entertainment. And then I will also get, like, you know, when this website was created, right? It's created in 2009, so it's been a lot. It's been present for a long time. I even get an address, an email, and a phone number. So these are like, so if I'm going to, like, you know, if I'm looking at a website and I find it quite suspicious, I think the you know, the website is publishing a lot, perhaps malicious content or, you know, false content, then, you know, one of the things that would be good to find out is if who is the owner behind this website. Does this person have any agenda or not? And I will also look at when the website was set up. Usually in the run-up to elections, there are a lot of new so-called news websites would be set up, and this happens quite common in a lot of countries. And so to determine that, you just need to look up their who is lookup on this domain tools or on who is ICANN, just to see when was the website created. And that gives you a good indicator. A website has been around for a long time, means that this person has been running this and doing this is pretty legit. Maybe this person is just, you know, very vindictive and like to publish, you know, malicious content, but this website has been around for a long time. But if it's a new website, then you should also be more cautious, because then you start questioning, why is this website suddenly popped up right before elections? Why is it only publishing very politically centric content? So that, you know, those are basically red flags. And the question is, does it work with WordPress website space? No, it doesn't. So the thing is, I would give you this example, edusisiasa.com. It's a very famous blogger / website that's in Malaysia right now. It publishes a lot of like juicy news about politicians and authorities. So what it Thus, if you look up on, this is Rotikaya, so then I did a murai.my on who is lookup on mynick, and I even get the invoicing party and registrant. But for edisi siasat, because it runs on a WordPress platform, or it just bought the domain name, but it runs on WordPress platform, so everything unfortunately you see is hidden. Sorry, you see it's hidden. It sees it will just show you that the registrar is GoDaddy. Registration is private. You don't see information published at all. Another thing that you want to check out is Wayback Machine. It archives all the web pages on the internet. Obviously, there are billions, if not trillions, of website pages on the internet. So it gets very tricky and very slow for Wayback Machine to crawl onto each website to track and take a snapshot of the website. But it is helpful if you were to want to look at how does this website used to look like, or maybe sometimes people publish something and then they take it down from the internet. They're like, oh no, I'll get in trouble, so I'll take it down from the internet. But there's maybe a good possibility or a good chance that it could have been saved on Wayback Machine before it was taken down. No absolute guarantee though, because like I said, there are like probably there are billions, if not trillions, of web pages on the internet. So what I'm going to show you is, okay, let me this. Okay, this is how Wayback Machine looks like right now. Now, you would wanna, if you wanna check out to see if the website is being archived, okay, then you would then just put copy and paste the URL. So say for example, I want to look at MySpace. I hit MySpace. And if I have the direct URL, I can just copy paste the URLs, excuse me. So then I could just look at how these are the like back in 2007. So these colored ones are all the ones where they actually have a snapshot of the website. So maybe I just do this. On July 4th, there are 2 snapshots I can see here. Click on one. And then it will load and it will show me how the web page looked like on July 4th of 2007. Right. Sometimes it doesn't have a page save, and that's normal because, like I said, Wayback Machine is crawling the internet, and it takes a lot of time to crawl and take a snapshot of each website when there are billions of pages on the internet. So what you can actually also do is that, okay, let me just go back to the home page. If there is a page that you want to save, right, and you think that this would be like, this page should be monitored and it should be saved, you can actually save it. You can click on web, and you can see this save page now function. So you just drop your URL, okay, copy paste the URL and hit save, and it will save this page. So this also helps you if you are afraid that, oh, this website might be taken down later. I can take a screenshot of it, but then later on someone might say that, oh, I manipulated a screenshot, it's Photoshop. So one way to safeguard myself is to also save it on the Wayback Machine. The alternative to Wayback Machine is archive.today. Archive.today doesn't have as huge of a database as Wayback Machine, simply because all these are like, users generated, right? So there are not that many people using archive.today as compared to Wayback Machine. But I suggest it as an alternative is if on the odd chance that what you're searching for on Wayback Machine is not available, you can try out archive.today to see if it's there. I don't think we have time to do this practice because we are only down to 10 minutes, 14 minutes left. So I would just show you how this is done. Okay, you want to get Bernama's website on February 1st, 2007. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to Wayback Machine. I would go to bernama.com and let it load. Okay, does it? Okay, so then I wanted to get February 1st of 2007. So I go to 2007. Then I hit to 1st of February. Oh, there isn't any on 1st of February. Was it 2017? I mentioned 2017. 2017, there are two snapshots. Click on it, and the headline that I see on February 1st, 2017 is this is the headline then. Sarawak began to feel Jamila anu to defend Tanjung Datu seat. Okay, so just a reminder to everyone that just because you can't find a piece of information or the piece of content online, doesn't mean that it's not there. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, right? And so the other thing is that, maybe you need to target your searches better, or maybe a platform, for example, maybe Facebook is preventing you to do the searches that you need, right? Just remember, sometimes just because you can't find something, doesn't mean that it's not there. So you don't go and tell people that, oh, I can't find it on the internet, so this means that it's not true, it doesn't exist. It just means that you're unable to find evidence of its existence. And then lastly, I want to just talk a bit about deepfakes, right? A lot of people say that, oh, deepfakes, is very worrying, we should be very afraid of deepfakes. Now, I just want to put it out there that, right, we should ask ourselves, is deepfakes really a big problem at this moment? So right now, if you look up, if you're following the trends, you will see that deepfakes is quite common, but it's more often than not used as a parody or a comedy, and even as a reface app, like you do a face swap or a reface app that allows you to put your face onto a celebrity and do or like a movie star from a movie scene, right? Now it's just mostly used in a more fun entertainment way at the moment, right? Will it become more serious in the future? Maybe it will, maybe it won't, we wouldn't know. At this point in time, we're able to only see that the only serious users, the harmful users that we see in the deepfakes are usually targeted as revenge, as in like you will see maybe like celebrity faces on porn stars in like porn videos, or a vengeful boyfriend who would use the girlfriend's photos and put it onto a porn star and put it in a porn video. Those are usually the harmful versions of what we've seen for deepfakes. But in terms of other users of that are harmful, we have not really seen it. And the case that, like even earlier this year, we had a video that was circulating. There was a video that was circulating in Myanmar, and a lot of journalists and also citizens were claiming that this video is a deepfake. But upon what this video was about, this was at the height of the incident of the coup. So when the military took over government, there was this video that was released during that period. This was in March, and many people allege that this video is a deepfake because they say that, it appears that it's a very unnatural movement of lips when this person is speaking. So in this video, who this person is that he is a former minister in Yangon who is from Aung San Suu Kyi's party. And so he makes this claim, a very detailed claim in the video about providing gold and cash to Aung San Suu Kyi. And so everyone started saying that, this is probably a deepfake, this is probably not real. But what forensic experts at this organization called Witness, what they did was they tried to analyze the video, and they can't be absolutely conclusive or certain, but they say that there is a good chance, it's highly likely that this video is real. It's not fake. And it could also be probably people mistaken it as a deepfake because the quality of the video is a bit poor. So the resolution is not that clear. And that, when a person is shooting a video under duress or under extreme pressure, they could appear quite stiff with their speech and lips movement. So that could also be a reason why it explains the unnatural movement of this person as he talks. So, and more often than not, chances are most people are lazy, like I mentioned. They rather use recycle items, recycle old photos, recycle videos, and just change the caption, put it a totally different context in a different location and just make a false claim. Chances are people are cheap that way. They don't want to go through all the hassle. They're lazy. They will do this kind of mis and disinformation content to float it online. One of the things that's also, if they want to do a bit more effort, this is what we saw in the US back in 2019, is that they took an actual video and they slow it down slightly, just enough to make this claim that the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is slurring, that she's old, she's incoherent, that she can't be a House Speaker. Look at her, she's talking at this public function, but her voice is slurring. So they this is not a deep fake. It just basically, they just slow down the video and just slow down her speech, so it sounds as though she's not talking coherently or properly. And so this is probably the kind of effort that people will go out there and do. Like, they might actually use an actual footage, but maybe they'll slow it down or they'll cut it. In the case of India, it was they actually cropped the video so that it was a PSA video that was not even shot in India, it was shot in Pakistan. That video was a PSA video about, be careful with your children. Child abduction is actually a serious case in Karachi. So then they had this PSA video, but they cut out the video to cut out the disclaimer about the video, to only show the scene where a child was abducted, and it was a CCTV footage, right? And so they used that video to circulate around India to say that, kids across different villages in India are getting kidnapped by, malicious characters, suspicious people who are strangers who come to visit our village. That's how mob lynching happened. So that's not a deepfake either. They just basically crop the video and make a claim. So I think we should be more afraid and more aware of these kind of videos than deepfakes. But if you are curious and you want to learn, more about what is manipulated content, manipulated videos, about what are deepfakes, you could take this course by Reuters. It's called Manipulated Media. This was done a few years ago, so I will also exercise caution. It's a good basic knowledge to build a basic knowledge, but it shouldn't be taken as the gospel truth, because deepfakes evolve very quickly every other few months. So what exists last year would have probably vastly improved by this year. So lastly, we'll talk about ethical risks. What are the ethical risks that we'll need to be aware of, right? So this is our OSINT guru, open source investigator guru. He actually got this message from a friend of his, and he took this friend, or this student who took a class on how to do open source investigations, how to do fact checking, how to do source analysis and all that. And he uses new skills that he developed to find his old crush. So now then this brings the question of, while we admire the fact that you develop very great new skills, right? And you're very good at it, the way you use it, is it for the right reasons or not? That should be brought into consideration, right? Then we talk about the ethics behind the skills that you've acquired. Just because you can search for something, right? Should you search for something? Say, for example, private information of your ex. Is that something that you should be doing? So what is not open source is that if you acquire any form of information by hacking someone, or you compromise someone's privacy, right? Or if you acquire information by lying or misrepresenting yourself. Say, for example, you join a private WhatsApp or private Telegram group, but you lied about who you are, and then you acquire information from that group and you use it for other purposes. So also questionable practices. Is it okay to track someone's email? Obviously, it's not okay. Should you publicly name someone just because you found, okay, I found Minister X is having an affair with celebrity Y. Through my, open source investigator, I managed to find this, social media post. should you then, publicly name it? Is it in the public interest of the people to know such information? And should you troll social media accounts of private individuals? These are not public individuals. Should you troll social media accounts of private individuals? So you need to also, those are the things, ethical questions that you should ask yourself. But the other thing that we should also ask ourselves is that we tend to over rely on tools. So while I have shown you many tools, these tools are helpful, but it shouldn't be the basis for your final judgment on whether information is accurate or not, or whether a content is true or false. So whether or not that judgment, you would have to exercise your own critical thinking to make that judgment, simply because tools are not 100% foolproof. You should also then, be very wary of the tools that you use. Is it really 100% reliable? Can you entirely trust it? Which is why we talk about corroboration. Maybe using one tool is not enough. You have to use several different techniques and several different tools to corroborate one piece of information before you make the final judgment. So honestly, I know not all of you are not fact checkers, but in any case, if you were to fact check a piece of content and you want to clarify things, then it's always the honest way is to reach out directly to the source, and you reach out directly to the source to ask them if they've shared this piece of information, if the piece of information they claim, is it true or not, and how did this person manage to come across this piece of information. And of course, how we approach these people is also should be filled with honesty. We should be accurate with how we depict ourselves and what we want to ask. And we should also be always respectful. If you want more details on, what's the right etiquette, then you should go and scan this QR code and read the Medium link there. It is written by our guru who taught us how to run this workshop in the first place. So now that you've acquired this new tool of this great set of skill sets, then, with great power, obviously comes great responsibility. There are a few different links of tip sheets that you can get from them, but I would also be able to provide you tip sheets as well for today and tomorrow's lesson. So if you just take this is Bellingcat, they are a famous online investigator. Then there's also this organization called First Draft, and they also have a site a Start Me site that lists down all the different tools. So we would love to hear from you. You could fill in your feedback, the feedback form, and we will send you a tip sheet to today's and tomorrow's lesson as well. Any questions? If you have a question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Anyone? So nobody has any questions. Everyone is very clear. Yes, if you want to do a proper fact check, it can be time consuming, but I would say that if you're interested in it, you will also be going down this rabbit hole of just checking everything, and it can be quite fun.
Trina, sorry, may I ask a question? What was the most interesting fact-checking exercise that you have done thus far? The biggest, longest rabbit hole that you had to go into, if you can share with us.
Geolocation, which we'll cover tomorrow. So watching a piece of video or a photo and just trying to figure out where is it. That's actually quite fun. So we'll talk about geolocation tomorrow, and I'll give you some exercises. If you're interested to see, maybe at the end of tomorrow's session, if you have a bit of time, I'll even show you the geolocation exercise that I thought was very, very interesting. It took me close to half an hour to do it, but I thought it was very interesting to do. There's a question from Roberto. Is there any chance that in the future, can it be expedited? People are already looking to expedite. Like I mentioned, you can only use AI as much. So what AI does is that there are organizations like Full Fact, which is based in the UK. They start automation, but the automation is only part of the process, right? So instead of getting like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of claims that they have to sieve through manually, what the automation does is that it narrows it down to say from that few 100,000 or tens of thousands to only a few thousand. So then from that few thousand claims, they just sift through which one they think is worth fact checking, and then they will fact check it.
That's amazing. Sorry, Trina, Roberto here. Because I'm doing precisely my research on that. I mean, my PhD on that automation of the fact checking to help media outlets to regain their reputation. So could you type the organization that is doing this? Because definitely I will contact them. Thank you very much, Trina.
That's Full Fact, and there's also this other organization called MENTION. MENTION does, they collaborated with WhatsApp to do a tip line fact checking. I'm not sure how it works on the back end because it's very technical, but they also are looking into automation. So, and there's also this, I think this organization called, is it actually the AI? I can't remember. There is this other organization called, it's something called AI. I can't remember right now. What's it called? Full Fact, yeah. Yes, logically.ai. So this is the other organization. They, like I said, they also, you can't eliminate fact checkers entirely. So this, what Logically does is also what they do is they just help you filter the amount of information claims that you see on the internet, and then the actual fact checkers still have to do the manual fact checking work. Yeah. Any other questions?
If there's nobody, I have to ask you something. What is your take on the government websites that claim to be fact-checking? In the case of Malaysia, for example, sebernyanya.com. Is it really fact-checking, or is just filtering information?
I don't have, so I have to remain objective. I don't have an opinion on this. What I can say is that there's a reason. So there are many different people and organizations, like it can be government organizations, it can be an NGO, it can be a news media outlet. That are claiming to do fact checking, right? Whether or not their processes are properly conducted, whether the fact checks are properly done, whether or not they're being fair and objective in their selection process of what to fact check, all of that, it's up to the organization, and we can't actually predetermine anything, but which is why I recommended IFCN. So I would just show you, like, there's a reason why I talked about ICN, because ICN is the only organization in the world that has a very strict guideline on how you conduct fact checking and how you retain neutrality as an organization. So to obtain an ICN certification is actually not easy, because you have to prove through your company accounts, your company ownership, that you are not biased, you are not supported by any form of entity that obviously would have a strong bias. So if you're interested in this, there is actually a very interesting talk that was given by a professor from the University of Hong Kong. He's also a professor who has done a lot of work into misinformation. His name is Masato Kajimoto. He's associate professor at HKU. I can send you the link as well to. He did this talk presentation like 2 months ago at a conference I organized. So that one, hang on. There in that video, he actually talked about the concerns that we should have within APAC with regards to different so-called actors who are fact-checking information. I would just put the video link. I'll put the video link in chat so you can actually watch it. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, if no one has any questions, then we'll end our session for today. If you want the tip sheet, I'll just fill out the feedback form. I will email you the tip sheet after tomorrow because I'll compile it together for today and tomorrow's lesson. All right, thank you everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Malaysia time, and it'll be a 2-hour workshop again.
Thank you, Trina.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. If you can't access the feedback form, I'll make sure that it's open now. So you just have to refresh it in a bit. Yeah, it should be open by now. You can actually refresh it. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Initiative fact check session. So our next session will be tomorrow at 8 to 10 p.m. So now I guess you guys can take a break before our presentation or parallel session starts at 2. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Sir.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Zihan. Thanks, Durong.
Goodbye, Doctor. See you tomorrow.
Bye. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Yeah. Okay. See you.
4 p.m.
8 p.m. So it's at night in the evening. Okay. So see you.
Okay. Okay. See you.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.